I'm sure many of you out there would say that 2020 was a big year for playing online with others, and even for some playing D&D for the first time. Well, I was one of those people. Hello beautiful people, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mai, and if you're not so new, welcome back. With your rolling nat ones or getting a crit, D&D is one hell of a game. I discovered D&D a year ago through several different TV shows, but it wasn't until I discovered Oxventure and their D&D campaign several years ago that I finally became hooked. Since then, I wanted to find someone who could play the game, but I didn't know anyone, and I also felt very anxious about it. I was discouraged quite a lot, and I was told it's maths and stats and improv. It goes without saying that I was pretty rubbish at maths at school, and even though I went to drama school, any word of improv and I would just freeze up. I hated it. The fear would control me even through our first D&D campaign I was involved with. Let's just say that after the first big lockdowns were over here in the UK, a couple of friends and I decided to start our own campaign. Some were experienced players and some were newbies just like me. That campaign ran for about 56 sessions, so just over a year, but it eventually fizzled out due to scheduling and whatnot, much like many a D&D game before it. I fell in love with my first character, and she still holds a very dear place in my heart. Her name was Athara Ilig Negova, Athara for short. She was a Path of the Totem War barbarian, multi-classed with an Order of the Lycan blood hunter. Oh, and she was a fiery red-headed ale-drinking dwarf. A bit of an odd combination when you look back at it, but hey, I made her work. I think it goes without saying, I would like to rage. She started out as a level 1 barbarian and eventually became level 5 as a barbarian and then a level 3 blood hunter. It's safe to say that that campaign is long dead, but who knows, maybe I will be fortunate enough to bring her to a more current campaign and I'll get to play her again. In the meantime, she'll be living back in Tuatha with the rest of her party, the Decapitators. Following from that, the rest of us dabbled in a level 10 winter-themed one-shot, which then became our mini-campaign. I would play the part of Ysla, a wood elf thief rogue. She was totally different to Athara in a way, where she was a little bit more reserved and not as feisty. Around the time of creating this character sheet, I discovered that my dad actually played D&D about 35 years ago. So as a tribute, I decided that I would include in my backstory that Ysla is the daughter of Fredegar, my dad's thief build. During that time, we even played a 5e Lovecraftian-esque mini-campaign where I played a pill-popping celebrity named Alma. I'll be honest, I didn't really like playing her all that much, but she had her moments. She was just very different to what I've played before. Eventually, those campaigns also fizzled out due to my scheduling at times because I was rehearsing a play, and if I'm perfectly honest, I'd actually fallen out of love with the game, which is a real shame. I almost stopped playing entirely. But don't worry, my friends, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. It wasn't long before that I was approached by a viewer in my Twitch chat. This viewer came in during one of my Breath of the Wild streams, and I so happened to have been talking about D&D characters I'd played, previous sessions, and how I would absolutely love to play the game on Twitch in the future. This viewer would be none other than my future DM, Patch, from QuestJunkies UK. I could say that the rest was history, but for those of you who don't know the story, buckle in. A few months later, Patch would contact me about a D&D Twitch campaign he wanted to bring back. This would be campaign 3 of the Rhodania Chronicles. Now, without hesitation, I said yes, and in the August of 2022, Rhodania was unleashed, and I started an adventure with so many wonderful players who I consider as dear friends today. Now, if you've not had the pleasure of catching some of our live stream, buckle up because you're in for a bit of a ride. Let's just say it's chaotic, heartfelt, and well, I swear a lot. For context, Rhodania is a Circle Stars Feelies druid. She is my baby, she's also my first ever spellcaster I've played, and I was very apprehensive and nervous about playing her beforehand because I had quite a few people tell me that it would be difficult. And to be honest, I find playing a spellcaster relatively easy and I absolutely love it now. Secretly, since watching Oxventure, all I ever wanted was to play a druid. It just sounded so fun.
Editing Mai here, I completely forgot to mention Rhodania also has like a wild brew which makes like wild magic surge and craziness, and she's just amazing. I love her. I mean, like, merch, t-shirt, love her.
Rhodania is my wee baby, I love her so much, and she's a little bit of an extension of me, maybe my inner child I suppose. And at the time of this video, we would have completed 22 sessions, eaten many a muffin, drank many a wild brew, and had quite a few close calls for each of us. As for the party name, we are known as the Wild Ones. Through Patch, I was also incredibly fortunate to have been included in some one-shots on his channel. This included a honey heist in Rhodania, where I played a long-tongued sun bear called Jezza, Brim Smallboy's Humblewood Adventure as Agum, the accent-changing barbarian wizard who is obsessed with flowers and glass-blowing, and of course the Wildemount one-shot where I played Jimothy Brassfang's third Esquire, a College of Eloquence bard. I was also fortunate enough to be invited to an offline one-shot by Patch where I dove back into my barbarian roots and played Barb, the Path of Wild Magic Barbarian. There is a little bit of a theme. Every time that I play a new campaign or a one-shot, I always try and make the effort to play a class or a race that I've never played before. I even joined the rest of the Wild Ones in a one-shot roulette over at Phoenix Awaki's channel, another person in the D&D community who I am eternally grateful to have met. John, you are bloody lovely, you're so wonderful, a absolutely amazing DM, and thank you so much for unleashing Agum into the world. I feel so privileged to have shared the screen with so many talented and wonderful players. With each and every game that I play and every session I go through, I learn more and I laugh more than I have before. My latest adventure to embark on is a full-blown campaign of the Wildemount Chronicles, based on Critical Role's World of Exandria. For all you critters out there, for time reference, this is based in 842 PD, so about a year before campaign 3. For this campaign, I brought back Jimothy from the one-shot, and I'm so excited to bring out more chaos with more of these talented beings. If you thought that the open mic night at the Lavish Chateau in episode 1 was a bit mad, well, you're in for something for sure, yeah. Now, our fate is in the hands of the dice and our DM, of course. To round it up, let's just say that in less than a year, my love for D&D has rekindled, it has grown, my knowledge has expanded, and so has my confidence. I've made some amazing friends and met some wonderful people through this ever-growing community. This beautiful game has helped me through some really tough times as well, whether I am suffering really badly with my mental health or even with my physical health. Playing helped me forget how badly I was feeling and has definitely taken me out of some pretty dark times. Another thing as well is that I've always found it really difficult to play online or talk to people online as well, so playing this game has definitely brought me out of my shell. And through this game I look forward to any sort of hangout that we have outside of our sessions, and I crave the game as soon as we end the stream. At the moment I currently play on 2 Twitch campaigns, so that's Rhodania Chronicles and the Wildemount Chronicles. I play one offline casual mini campaign with some of my friends from the first campaign I played, and coming up, TBC, soon to be announced, I am going to be taking part in another Twitch campaign. So overall it'll be 4 campaigns. I have no intention of stopping it. You know what, I'd even love to play some new systems. My list of TTRPGs is getting really big now, and also another dream of mine is with with a bit more knowledge and a bit more courage, I would absolutely love to run my own games and be a GM or a DM. You know, one shot, who knows? We'll see how it goes. But for the time being, I think I'm happily going to play and watch other people's campaign. I'll make sure my confidence goes up a little bit more in the meantime. Although I have been playing for about 3 years, I would still consider myself as quite a noob, and I have a ton of campaigns to catch up on. I mostly watched Ox Venture and jumped in and out of my friends' Twitch D&D streams, but yeah, I have so much Critical Role and Dimension 20 to catch up on. However, I did recently finally finish all of EXU Calamity and all of the seasons of Legend of Vox Machina, the animated series. I still haven't recovered from Calamity, to be perfectly honest. It's the best storytelling I've seen in any media to date, really. Yeah. God, if I had a sliver of talent from anyone in that group, any of those players, Brenly Mulligan, I would be jumping with joy. I would be so grateful. I'd be really happy. I do want to leave one piece of advice if you are thinking about jumping into the game. I imagine that with the new D&D movie coming out at the end of March, that we're going to find a lot of new players coming to the fan base, which isn't a bad thing. I would just say, remember, have fun, embrace the chaos, and if you're lucky like me, find yourself a DM who's incredibly encouraging and patient. TTRPGs are about telling stories, and for me at least, about escaping reality into a world that I can call home and having fun and hanging out with my friends. I know how daunting it can be to find your first character sheet, or even, for me, leveling up a character you've had for so long. All the official items and homebrew stuff, don't get me started, can be overwhelming, but with a loving group and a really nice DM, you will learn very quickly and things will get easier. Just allow yourself to mess up from time to time. Now let us know in the comments below if you play D&D or if you'd like to. Either way, I would love to hear about any characters you've really enjoyed playing or any favourite moments from your games. If you enjoyed the video, why not give it a little like and subscribe to the channel. Even ring the bell to be notified when I'm next going to be posting. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Roll those d20s and have a good one. Also, is it game day yet?